Side of my own. I don't be blocking myself. See if I can rotate that. And I did. So what's up out there, people? It's your boy Frewil. Yes, love. Go ahead, please. You did? Okay. Okay. Well, I am here. I'm being bothered by my daughters. Um, on one end, I got somebody playing Maggie and Bianca while I'm trying to enjoy a nice cohiba. Uh, I will be just a little bitty bottle today. Right, where is that? There it is. Little bitty bottle of Chivas Regal. It is not showing too well right now, but yeah, enjoy. Hmm. Just wanted to have a nice relaxing moment to myself here. I got some little people coming, so give me a second. Yes, my love. You want to do what, baby? Hold on one second, please. Tinker Winkers. Come, come get the little one, please. Take her in, please. Let her watch something. I'm gonna have to put you guys on hold for a second. I guess I won't. Oh. Yes, please. Turn it down some, please. Take it that away, please. I don't know what to tell y'all. Give me a second here, people. We will look at the sky for a split second. Whatever y'all likes to done, y'all can done. For a little bit, yeah, right here. Y'all can come too, but keep it down a bit. Anyhow, I'm sorry I'm back. That was a quick interlude. I'm gonna try to kick back and enjoy my cigar now. So you guys tell me about yourself. I don't know if you guys can see the shirt here. There's no light. There was some light for a split second. Well, I'm sporting the Frewil, and maybe I should do this in the light, but I like it at night. Got a few Christmas lights out. Let's see what today is. It is 11/30, 2018. It is 5:12 p.m. California, in the Inland Empire. I don't really have much to say, but tomorrow is December. We're already in Sagittarius season, my season. So you guys be prepared to enjoy that with me, because we shall have some good crusades. I will be, excuse me, probably doing some live shows of some things that I'll be doing this month. Do have a trip or two, perhaps planned in next month too. But yeah, I ain't gonna say what it is. Let's just wait until that moment. Guys should have fun though. This is a very tasty cigar. Now, for those who don't know how to smoke a cigar, let me try to explain it for you, break it down for you in detail. Oh, this is a very good stogie. Oh my goodness, very relaxing. You must slow down on the cigar. I don't want to be tapped out. Um, but anyhow, the thing you're supposed to do when you smoke a cigar is, if anyone knows, I would appreciate if you tell me that I'm right or wrong. But the way you smoke a cigar is you cut the tip off. As everyone knows, I chop the tip here. And before I smoke it, I like to kind of chew on it a little bit, just kind of rotate it around in the mouth. Get it wet because you don't inhale cigars. They're very, very potent, strong. So you just kind of taste it. Now the fire, when you inhale like such, all of the stuff that you're tasting, which is the cigar, you end up swallowing the remnants of the leaf. And as you inhale it, it lights it up on fire, it heats it up, and it gives it a little more potency. And you kind of taste it and you swallow it. And the stuff that you swallow, the residue and all of that, is what give you the buzz, the relaxing feeling. The same thing as weed, with the exception of the inhaling. You inhale weed, you inhale cigarettes and all of that, but cigars you do not because they're very, very strong. And you will get something. Who knows what that is? I know some people that do it, but I don't. So anyhow, as I was saying, you cut the tip, you taste it, you get all of that moist because as you inhale the smoke or puff the smoke, it heats up the base and all the your moisture, your saliva, and that is the stuff that you swallow. Your saliva with all of the remnants of the cigar leaf, the little crumbs and stuff that falls into your mouth from chewing it, and that gives you the little relaxing buzz that you feel. It's a high of some sort that is unlike anything else. The best way to really get a good taste is to have little sips of I like scotch or whiskey. Some people like cognac. I'm more of a scotch person and whiskey. Whiskey is my thing. I used to be a very big brandy drinker, but I don't drink it as much anymore. It's more just about just the scotch and the whiskey. I will be getting different types of bottles throughout my time and having sessions with you guys and talking it out. So as we talk, we will try to get a little prolific, a little deeper here and talk about the company that is Frewil, which let's see if I can share some light on that Frewil for you. I don't know if you saw that, but Frewil is the company is Frewil Enterprises LLC. I'm a self owned company. I print T-shirts, hats, apparel, things like that. Um, I used to be a musician. I won't say musician. I used to rap and do poetry and sing a little bit back in the day. So what I did was most of my lyrics was very influential in the aspect that we spoke. I spoke on freedom of the mind, free will, which we don't have anymore. Pretty much speaking about life being just an experiment, being confused, being scared of the mirror, um, third eyes not being blind no more. Those things of which we are influenced by the media that keeps us. I'm sorry, I got a bug. Sorry. Those things that influence us within the media that keeps us blinded from the real life's situations, that is. And, you know, those things um, are what really takes your free will away from you because you're so busy trying to be popular and be like someone else. You forget to be who you are. You forget your roots. You forget your values in life and what it is that you want to do because you're too busy trying to be someone else. Um, when I say life is just an experiment, I look at it like this. Back in the day, I don't want to say too much, but Hitler and all of these people, they did these experiments, whereas what was it, LSDs and all of these things that they did on people, and they did all these experiments where they, you know, opened your eyes wide and shoved visual effects into you, all of these things that you see on movies and stuff like that, where they tortured people. Those were real life events that happened back in the day, and those things were just taken from the lab. I mean, like if you see lab mice, we are pretty much lab mice. Those things were taken from the lab and brought into real life, into society. As you see, we have homes, we have apartment complex, which they call projects. That is an experiment. A project is an experiment. They put you in these big projects and they bundle you close together. They give you drugs and alcohol and guns and church and all of these things, and they mess with your mind. They keep you confused. They don't give you enough money to survive, and it drives you crazy. just like they do to rats when they give them all these drugs and let them go and see how they're going to react. The same thing they're doing to you. They're making you go nuts. So life is just an experiment. It's something somebody made up and we all chose to believe. Who's to say that a car is a car? It could be a couch. Who's to say that a tree is a tree? It could be a house. You know what I mean? Who knows? It's, when someone finds a star or discover a new animal, they get to name it. So it's something somebody made up and we chose to say, yeah, that's what it is. So, with that being said, all of those experiments keep us blinded because we're so confused and angry about everything that's going on that we start looking for other ways to get our anger out. So we start smoking and drinking and going to church and praising somebody else's God that isn't yours. You know, whatever you have to do to find your way out, you do. I won't say what religion is for whom. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God, but I don't do all of the religions and churches. I used to when I was younger, but I discovered my free will. And so being confused was just that. All of those experiments kept you confused. And therefore, when you became confused, you became scared of the mirror, which meaning you started to hate yourself. You started to hate yourself so much that, excuse me, that you didn't want to be yourself anymore. You started looking for ways to cope, which is drugs and alcohol, looking for ways out, going out, listening to rappers and actors, and watching all of these movies and trying to be those people. Um, Buying up all of the Pradas and Gucci's and all of those things, which, you know, fucks with your head, excuse my language, but messes up your mind. So therefore, your third eye is blind because now you're so deep into trying to buy all of this stuff and be somebody else that you want to be that you're just too confused and lost and scared of the mirror that life that was an experiment is not yours anymore. It's somebody else's. So now they have laws and bylaws and senators and House of Representatives and governors and presidents and all of these people that come in and make up laws for you to try to help you cope with society, cope with your ways around you, which is really fucked up if you stop and think about it because that's taking away your free will. So when I was rapping back in the day, I was mayhem for a while. For about eight, I don't want to say eight, but about 5, 6 years, I was mayhem. And I carried mayhem all the way up from 12 to 18 when I changed myself to Free Will Son and Free Will. And about 20, I really became deeper into Free Will and Free Will Son, and I really started preaching all of those things because when I was mayhem, all of those things of wreaking havoc and destruction was my karma that would come back to me. You understand? So all of those things that I did um, drove me to do a bunch of insane shit, which, I spent a lot of time rapping and preaching all of it, but all of the stuff that I did when I was younger, my karma had to come back to me. So that mayhem that I wreaked, even though I changed to free will, it still came about. So, um, that's really in a name. You got to really stop and think about the things you call yourself. We have all these rappers out there calling themselves certain things. They're this, they're that. Those things are you're manifesting into life. You understand? So you have to really be careful what you call yourself and how you treat yourself because those things will come to life. When they say your words is your strongest weapon, it is absolutely the truth. Your tongue is your strongest weapon, and the things that you speak will come to light. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and you have to realize that in order to become free or free will, because we all are free will, you have to you can't construct life. You have to deconstruct, then reconstruct. You don't construct, you deconstruct and reconstruct. So I had to break down the mayhem and get away from that, and then reconstruct who I wanted to be because I had already constructed mayhem and all of the shit that I wanted to be in the world that I thought was great. And it was me. It was a lot of people knew me for that. And it wasn't that I was a bad person. It was just what I was preaching about, which was New World Orders and all of these things that was trying to help people. It came back to me wreaking that havoc and destruction. The government and other people didn't like it, so they brought it to me. And it is what it is. Um, but without that, I wouldn't be free will. Without that mayhem that I went through, I couldn't deconstruct. I couldn't reconstruct. and be who I am. So just because I'm reconstructing or I've reconstructed, it's still going to take time to manifest it. So you understand what I'm saying? So life is just an experiment. It's something somebody made up and we all chose to believe. Um, but you have to deconstruct that. You have to break yourself away from society. You have to break yourself away from the life that you live and discover your free will, gain your freedom, and let your freedom ring and let it ring out loud and speak. Don't be afraid to speak up because if you don't, excuse me, do something about your life, somebody else will. You know what I mean? Um, your morals and values will be messed up. Your children will be messed up. I saw something by Dr. Joy DeGruy, I think that was her name, and she spoke about post-traumatic slavery syndrome, and that is, how we go through so much in the past that it was carried on from our family. And I spoke on that many years before I saw that. With my family and what they've been through, my mom, my dad, their families down the line, what they've been through from slavery, just like a whooping. The slave masters whooped them. You know what I mean? And they whooped my great grandparents and all the way down. And that carried on from my great grandparents or my grandparents to my parents, whooping, them getting whoopings to them whooping me. Now, I don't whoop my children as much as sometimes they might need one. I don't do it because I know that is just a product of the poison that we were given. You understand? Same as how we were beaten and chose to believe in, Jesus or believe in Christianity or believe in Catholic or whatever. That was something they used in slavery to enslave you. They said it. The Bible said, "Follow your master, do what your master say, or you'll be beat or killed," or whatever the case may have been. Whatever they told you and they believe. So now you have a lot of people walking around with that post-traumatic stress syndrome, slavery, thinking that they have to pray to someone else that their ancestors didn't pray to. There's many different religions out there that people have. So who am I? Who are they or anyone to say that this is the one? Because mm, sorry, I had to relight it. Before all of those things came about, other people praised God in different ways, and they lived just fine. However, they died or went to wherever they went to. They went to look at the Egyptians. Another thing to keep in mind is all of those religions, every religion was stolen from something, all the hieroglyphics inscribed on the walls in Egypt. Um, every religion that you see was taken from a piece of the inscriptions on the walls, all the hieroglyphics in Egypt. Look it up, find it out for yourself. You got to learn to look at your own religion, look at your own history, because that is what's going to set you free. I don't really want to go too much more into that because I can break each one of those down individually, which I will do at some point, and give you a little speech and talk on each one. But we got to learn to keep in mind that we put ourselves in the situations that we want to be in. Everybody get mad at Kanye because he said that slavery is a choice. At this point, it is. You know what I mean? Back then it wasn't, but at this point it is. You choose to be enslaved. No matter how much I tell you you're right or wrong, you're going to do what you want to do. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because the more you tell somebody they're wrong, the more they're going to want to do it. You understand? So, I need you people to go out and do your own research. Teach your children because the school system has failed us. Keep in mind that our systems back in the day were great until the Rockefellers came along and changed it because they already had their scientists and doctors and cops and lawyers and all of the people that they needed. So their job, as they stated for themselves, was to perfectly teach you how to be imperfect. Because as you can see in the systems and everything that I just explained to you, life is just an experiment. They're perfectly teaching you how to be fucked up. And our slaves taught them how to use it against us. You know what I mean? Because they sang songs, and that was their way of getting to freedom. And those songs that they sang Now what do? They use it on the radio. Everything we told them that we did to get out of slavery, they use it as against us now. They got songs on the radio and they play them over and over, embedding them in our system. They're uploading it, downloading it, streaming it, whatever you want to call it, into your brain, and they're training you. They're subliminally messaging you, telling you what to see, think, feel, how to act. I like to break my stuff down in something that I learned a long time ago, which is called I see, I think, I feel. And in everything that I do, I try to use that method. I see that life is fucked up. I think that somebody purposely wanted us in that situation so that they can control us and have all the world's resources to themselves, which makes me feel some type of way. Makes me feel like it's my job to reach out to some people and try to help them see the light. You know, we are the free will sons. I break that down as God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. To be free is the only thing, closest thing. The only thing is to be God. To be free is to be of God, because God is the only thing that is free. We live by His will, and we are His sons. Therefore, we are all free will sons. Follow? So, I want y'all to keep that in mind. When you're out there living that life and doing the things that you want to do, or so you think you want to do, trying to buy up all the bottles and buy up all the Gucci, Prada, try to go date all these celebrities and be at their everything, you know, find what you like and enjoy it. As I said, you have to teach your children because the education system is fucked up. You have to put in their minds what you need them to know, ground them, not ground them and punish them, but I mean ground them, give them a strong base of study, knowing who they are as a person, give them their self-worth, and that's by loving them and being there for them and showing them that you are who you are. You are a son, a child of God, and through His will you live freely. You understand? So I'm gonna kick back and enjoy the rest of my cigar now. I think it's probably out. It is. So I'm gonna take me a swag of this whiskey and enjoy the rest of my night. So you guys, I hope that message came across clear, y'all. If ain't nobody ever told you that they love you, I do. Remember, your boy Frewil said it. I believe it. Holla.